Are you there? Are we connected? Excellent. Truly excellent. We may begin. You may call me Mr. E. Today we will discuss a Deltarune theory. One that's been taking form ever since the release of Chapter 2 and its Spamton sweepstakes, which, due to Chapters 3 and 4, has suddenly gained substantial evidence. Spoilers for the entirety of Deltarune, so far, up to Chapters 3 and 4. To better explain myself, I will section this video. Starting with image_friend. Let us start by listing the appearances of this smiling friend. Friend first appears as a disincarnated smile during Chapter 2's Spamton Neo quest, in an inaccessible corner of Queen's basement. Friend is also featured in both Spamton sweepstakes. In the first, on chair, jump scaring you with a 5% probability after each click. And in the second, on rare cats, where it appears either when 100 cats have been clicked, or if the player tries to cheat, taking you back to Spamton sweepstakes in both cases. Friend reappears in Chapter 3, during Ralph's monologue of the nature of dark worlds, now taking a form resembling Undertale's endogeny. In the Bad at minigame as the highest rarity cat, increasing greatly your score at the cost of lowering your fuel. And thrice in the sword route. Once has eyes, once has teeth, both near the pyramid, triggered by pressing a tile. And once as a blobcat, in one of the Ram's attacks, dropping healing items with a particular chance based on the player's stats. Finally, in Chapter 4, by stepping on a switch, we can spot friend in a corner. From these, we can notice some themes forming around this friend. Friend is clearly related to being out of bounds and RNG, thus linked with video games. For a more thorough analysis, I highly recommend seeing Rune Pixels, Freedom, Fear, and Forgetting. Who is friend? Without further ado, let us speculate. We will start by stating the obvious. Friend is Noelle's ultimate cat, born from her special egg.
But one day, when I was trying to get the ultimate cat, something weird happened. A white egg appeared up on my screen, but there was a message with it. Special.
The one that left home due to happiness.
The next day, when I opened the game, the egg was gone, with a message that said it left home due to happiness.
This isn't revolutionary by any means, being generally accepted, as it explains a lot of Friend's aspects. Its name image_friend could refer to its file name in the video game cat headers, image corresponding to its file tag or type, and friend to its given name, later forgotten by Noel.
One last thing, the egg actually had a name, but I don't remember what it was. It's been driving me crazy ever since.
Its other forms as a floating smile and an endogeny are explained. As the video game cat headers, akin to its inspiration cats, separates pets by features.
For people that don't know the game, it has a special visual style. All the pets are made of circles that get animated around. One circle will be the head, another the eyes, another the pupil, another the body, etc.
And it mixes and matches the visual data of its pets.
However, you have to be careful because not all mods are very compatible. When pets fall in love, an egg appears and it hatches into a new pet that combines the animation and visual data of the two parents. Meaning, if you try to breed a hamster and a car, you'll either get a complete freak of nature.
Its behavior is reinforced through recurring actions, such as its jump scares.
Or worse, you'll get this message: incompatible pet. Then the game will freeze and the music will glitch out.
And fitting very neatly in its video gamey aspect as an out-of-bounds RNG creature, due to it being a glitch of RNG video game incarnated. Now, I have been hiding something. There is not a single answer. There are many. Let's talk about controlling hands, friendly cats, and the uncertain. Entertain the following. A cat is put in a steel chamber along with the following infernal device. In a Geiger counter, there is a tiny amount of radioactive substance, so tiny that in the course of an hour one atom will perhaps decay. But also, with equal probability, none of them will. If it does happen, the counter will discharge, and through a relay release, a hammer will shatter a small flask of acid. If one has left this system to itself for an hour, one would tell oneself that the cat is still alive, if no atom has decayed. Even a single atomic decay would have poisoned it. The psi function of the system would express this by having in it the living and dead cat mixed, or spread out in equal parts. Those were the words that Schrödinger wrote to Albert Einstein as a critique of the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics. A thought experiment, known as Schrödinger's cat. Schrödinger's main concern was that quantum systems are not in a definite state until measured, seen. Friend is that uncertainty. The face that appears at a corner. The doubt that happens before a scare. The chair that can be a monster.
You see, Susie, you and Chris live in the light world. place where everything is as you see. That is, as long as there's light. You see, when it gets dark, things become more indistinct. A chair can look like a monster.
Because what lies at the heart of uncertainty is undecisive.
Now that I'm older, I think what happened is I had so many mods installed that the egg didn't know what to hatch into.
Is indistinct.
What if we could take away the light that wasn't there? Until we reached another side. If that were to happen.
Oh.
You could start seeing things again.
Is undetermined. We can propose, via these motifs, several dualities. Determination and uncertainty, reality and fiction, light and dark. But do these connections hold under scrutiny? For this purpose consider the save mechanic in Undertale. We know the being that can save is the most determined. First Flowey, then Frisk, you, and lastly Kara. What do they all share? They are above this reality. They live it as a time loop. You play it as a game. Something similar happens in Deltarune. We know that Lightners can save inside the Dark Worlds, as Chris does it without you. So seemingly anyone can save in a world below them. Some would counter-argue that this fails at one instance. The Light World save. Except Chris is not the one saving. You are. Strengthening the hypothesis that determination equals reality equals light. With that out of the way, let me introduce you to another experiment, called Wigner's friend. Wigner has a friend who works in a physics lab measuring quantum systems. And one day Wigner has an idea. He will treat the entire lab as a single quantum system. So his friend does his job. He measures a quantum system. The cat is now dead or alive. But from Wigner's perspective, the lab is superpositioned until he asks his friend. The question is, when does the uncertainty disappear? Which leads us to who is the someone else that has seen friend? We can infer is Chris because they are referred as them, they are secretive. And they have seen something.
You think it's true? You really think there's...
What are you, chicken? you got a beak and wings like a chicken? Buck-haw?
No, just...
I ain't afraid. Only kids believe in that stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But Chris...
Oh, you gotta be a weenie like Chris.
Something they forgot, embodied by Forgotten Man.
Well, spring changed to summer, and summer changed to cold. And sure enough, I am the Forgotten Man. Will you forget me too? forgotten me many times before.
Something they repressed, represented by trees. Roots. Lost where the forest would grow, the children followed the pointed tail. One could argue that Chris could have seen anything. Why, friend? Is there anything relating cats and lost children?
If you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. Lewis Carroll.
As for the quoted character, please be my guest and guess.
You may have noticed that I'm not all there myself. And the morals are rare.
Is there anything relating Forgotten Man and Friend?
No matter what I did, I couldn't move or throw away the egg. I tried clicking it over and over, and in the end, all that happened is it made some sort of weird sound.
We will briefly venture in a Forgotten Eggman tangent. However, a detailed reading is outside of our scope. Please refer to The Bee's Knees. I know Deltarune's Eggman, as there are very interesting narratives they cover. The first one being, the first Easter egg was the first developer's credit. And the second being, Eggman as Toby's mouthpiece. Leading me to a third, annoying dog as Toby's insert, a metaphorical helping hand. So, a really obscure event as the sole mention of a creator and a creator inserted in their own narrative. Well, that was a dead end. We'll return to Forgotten Man.
I'll tell you my schedule. Listen carefully. On Thursday, I go to sell the donuts.
Oh, wait a second.
Skygerm.
I heard a dog was doing donuts, so I spit over it. But it's just like, donuts is special. It's actually the name of a special attack for our cars. Why is my life stuck in a loop of joy like disappointment?
It is him.
Elphys might work faster, but the old royal scientist, Dr. W.D. Gaster? One day, he vanished without a trace. They say he shattered across time and space. How can I say so without fear? I'm holding a piece of him right here.
Is it me or Gaster's piece looks like an egg? And does friend look like a hand? As previously implied, friend is Gaster's self-insert. As in, a piece of him, his hand, putting characters in place. Let's build a narrative. Eggs are Gaster's pieces. Gaster crashes out the game. Egg is a code error handler.
Also in the probably Gaster neighborhood, there's actually some error handler in the character creator segment that's pretty interesting too. For some reason, it calls an egg if it bugs out when setting the type variable. It can also just starts printing a list of foods. Weird.
These eggs would originate from the depths. So friend was brought into Deltarune via code error, as a device friend. This funnily enough resembles Schrödinger's wording of his infernal device. They'll see the tail of hell take crawl. Reminding us that friend orchestrated the incident. And at last but not least,
Beware of the man who speaks in hands.
Friend speaks for Gaster. It is someone and nobody.
Somehow he made the right phone call and found someone. Or was he found by someone?
And he ran right out of the room with a receiver hanging. So I went to pick it up, thinking it was finally my chance to be a big shot. But there was nobody there.
Linking friend with the concept of control. As it is pulling the strings, a puppeteer. Who has this cat controlled? That reminded me of 2007 of a yokai, the Bakeneko, a cat that puppeteers corpses. Why was Chris a zombie before you?
Meanwhile, Chris was still asleep, face down on a totally blank notebook page, and for some reason, Susie hadn't left either.
How do they know how to rip you apart and cage you? Why would they relate to Stampton to that extent? You have been there for 2 days.
Chris, you've got goosebumps. You okay?
Yeah. I'm good.
If you say it all strained like that, I'm not gonna think you're okay.
But his friend the puppeteer, or rather, his controller. Seems there's a controller fallen on the ground. A gamepad no one wanted to use. The buttons are an ugly pink and yellow. As a final postulate, in more senses than one, friend is Chris' odd controller. In conclusion, friend is metatextually the friendly cat, the anti-annoying dog. In the light world, Noel's special egg and Chris controller. In the dark world, the darkener of uncertainty. And in the depths, Gaster's hand, a piece of him. Further research is needed to either confirm or disprove, as some questions remain, such as: assuming this conjecture, it multiplies tenfold Chris parallels. Them losing a hand to control someone else and the cage shattering. That rings a bell. Speaking of ringing, did you know that the night, I am sorry I did not cover the phone, extrapolate who controls it. With respect to control, is friend controlling the night? And as an exercise to the reader, justify the following. Civil discussion is promoted in the comments. Connection terminated.